Today, we're going to talk about something a little unsettling. We're diving into the hidden world of dark psychology, basically how influence can be weaponized. So let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? You walk away from a conversation, and then it hits you. Wait, why did I just agree to do that? It almost feels like the decision wasn't really yours, like you were kind of guided into it.
Well, if that sounds familiar, you might have just been on the receiving end of what's known as dark psychology. And look, this is way more than just good old-fashioned persuasion. We're talking about the art and science of actual mind control, getting people to do things that aren't even good for them.
Okay, so what is dark psychology really? What are we even talking about here? Let's break it down. Think of it like this. At its core, dark psychology is about seeing people as, well, prey. It's all about the study of how some people manipulate, deceive, and coerce others to get exactly what they want, often by messing with their emotions and breaking down their confidence.
All right, so if you want to protect yourself, you've got to know the playbook, right? You need to know the moves. So let's pull back the curtain on some of the most common manipulation tactics out there.
First up is something called love flooding, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Someone just overwhelms you with affection, compliments, gifts, you name it. They create this super strong bond so you feel almost dependent on them. And then? Well, then it becomes really, really hard to say no to them down the line.
And then there's a big one you've probably heard of, gaslighting. Oh, this one is nasty. It's when someone makes you question your own reality. They'll deny things they said or did, tell you that never happened, or that you're being too sensitive. The goal? To make you doubt your own memory, your own sanity even, so you start to rely on their version of the truth. It's incredibly damaging.
And a timeless classic, the guilt trip. We've all been there. This is where someone basically turns your own kindness against you. They'll play the victim, use sarcasm, or just act hurt to make you feel guilty. And what do? You end up giving in just to stop feeling so bad.
So those are the tactics. But what about the people who use them? Who are these players? Well, in psychology, there's this concept called the dark triad, and it describes 3 personality types that are, let's just say, prone to this kind of behavior.
And this chart here really breaks it down nicely. You've got narcissism, that's the person with a huge ego who needs constant praise. Then Machiavellianism. These are the strategic, calculating types who see other people as tools to get what they want. And finally, psychopathy, which is characterized by a total lack of empathy or guilt. They might be charming on the surface, but underneath, they see people as pawns in their game. Pretty scary stuff.
So what's the end game here? What's the point of all these tactics? It's not just about getting you to do one little thing. No. The real goal is much bigger. It's a full-on 2-step attack designed to weaken you. It's all about gaining complete dominance. The whole point is to break you down bit by bit until you're so worn out and confused that you can't fight back anymore.
And here's how they do it. It's a 1-2 punch. First, they go after your willpower. They just drain you. They cause constant stress, make you make a million tiny decisions, anything to get you to a point where you're just too tired to say no. And then comes step 2. They destroy your self-esteem. They'll belittle you, blame you for everything, and feed all your deepest fears until you start to believe you're worthless without them.
Okay, that was a lot of dark stuff, I know. But here's the good news, and this is the most important part of this whole thing. You are not powerless. Not at all. Knowledge is power, and now we're going to talk about how to fight back, how to cut those strings.
And it all starts with this one simple idea. You have to really truly believe this. You have the right to protect yourself. It's not selfish to look after your own mental and emotional well-being. In fact, it's absolutely essential. Think of these as your personal Bill of Rights. You have the right to be respected. You have the right to have your own feelings and opinions, the right to decide what's important to you. And this one's huge. You have the right to say no and not feel guilty about it. This is your foundation. This is where you build your defense from.
So, what can you actually do? Here's your toolkit. First, keep your distance from people you suspect are manipulative. That's a big one. When you feel pressured, just say, "I'll think about it." It's a game changer. It breaks their spell. And practice saying no, firmly, without a long explanation. You don't owe them one. And finally, stand up for yourself. You'd be surprised how often a manipulator will back down when they realize you're not an easy target.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know the playbook, how are you going to protect your own story? Because that's what this is all about. Recognizing the game is the first massive step. Now you're equipped to write your own rules and be the author of your own life.